My mind stays pretty much clear. Yo, what's going on? It's someone that's no one, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report is coming from Animan off ETHEREUM. When this happened, 2012, the drugs used were Amanita Muscaria and cannabis at a dose of 5 grams, and of course he hits the cannabis throughout the experience. The route of administration was through AT and the cannabis was smoked. Gender, male. Weight, 130 pounds. Age, 15. And the set and setting, he notes, beautiful day in a small park with few people. Tea consumed around noon. Extremely calm and relaxed mindset. I've been preparing my mind for this experience for the past few days. So in this report, we get to see another side of Amanita Muscaria. In our prior reports, we've talked of basically whole ounces being consumed, and yeah, those experiences lead to some very intense states, and here we get to see more of a recreational side, if you can call it that, and some other effects you might just experience by taking a lower dose. So I think you guys are going to like this one, and without further ado, let's dive right into it. A low dose of a muscaria. In the morning of the day of the trip, I decided I might as well attempt making some mushrooms into a tea. This supposedly reduces nausea and speeds up the onset of effects, so it seemed worth doing. I brought a small pot with a small amount of water to a light boil and added 30 grams of lowest grade New Mexico chopped mushrooms, letting it simmer for about 25 minutes. Then I strained it and put it into a water bottle. I was surprised as the mushrooms had dyed the water cloudy red, and it smelled like a spicy aroma. Start. 5 grams of tea is consumed by me and another 5 grams by my friend. The tea tastes like cardboard tomato juice, which isn't bad at all. I have no idea why everyone complains about the taste so much. Anyway, we are aiming to test the waters. I'm aware this drug is not to be taken lightly and must be eased into. While some consider 5 grams a strong dose, I knew this batch would turn out to be on the much less potent side, and I was correct. 1 hour in. Extreme salivation. It's like I have a damn river flowing from my mouth. My vision is so blurry, but doesn't bother me too much. Body continuously alternates between sweating hot and chills. Not profuse sweating though, just a little. This is probably where the trip begins. I feel a little disoriented, yet in control. No noticeable psychoactive effects though. 1 hour, 30 minutes in. A small amount of marijuana is smoked by me and my friend, just to counteract the very minor nausea, salivation, and generally uncomfortable bodily feelings. 1 hour, 40 minutes in. I can feel it. Oh, what wonders the weed did. Intense, colorful visuals, very delirious, slightly dissociated, a wonderful combination of all hallucinogens, yet very unlike the 3 classes individually. I finally understand why people say it's psychedelic in its own right, and it's kind of psychedelic. It seems to me that the hallucinations were very trippy and colorful, unlike and alike to a classical psychedelic, but these hallucinations are of a delirious nature, and then some dissociation on the side. Although this could be the weed chiming in and enhancing the visuals, it doesn't feel like the weed did anything more than make the mushrooms kick in. Great effects, and as of this moment in time, it has to be my favorite drug so far. Me and my friend walk around the park, enjoying the scenery. Very minimal loss of motor coordination, if at all, but still tripping so hard. I feel like I'm on the border of self-control and delirium/dissociation, so I'm worried about what a higher dose would do to my self-control. I'm seeing some crazy shit. My friend has a thick, glowing outline. The sky is so vibrant, and individual objects flicker as if they were light sources. Regardless of the delirium, my mind stays pretty much clear the whole time, as if the drug was only affecting my thought to a small degree. In other words, I really wasn't having strange thoughts like I expected. 2 hours, 30 minutes in. Visuals retreat almost entirely. It's upsetting considering how short the length of the trip was. I'm still slightly high from the pot and still have a tiny buzz going from the mushrooms. Eating is great and no vomiting occurs. We are joined by 2 more friends. More marijuana is smoked to see if it can bring the trip back out. This fails, and the high from the bud overpowers the Amanita high. From now until the end, I'm just really stoned, and so me and my friends play Dungeons and Dragons with a life board game and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which turns out to be amazingly fun and entertaining. 5 hours in, all remnants of an altered state of mind is diminished, and I'm so tired, but somehow am able to stay awake. It seems that not only does a higher dose last longer, but a small dose will last shorter. I don't think I have yet to hear of a drug whose duration depends on dosage. I must experiment with this drug more and get a better feel for it. I think it has greater potential. My only complaint is the annoyingly intense salivation, and I feel it lacked a spiritual side to it, which I'm sure a higher dose will have. Like with LSD, when I feel one with the universe and stuff like that. I am probably going to stay away from combinations though, aside from weed. This drug is too powerful on its own. Overall, it was a fun drug, and me and my friend's experience appears to be very different from all of the things I've read online. So back we are talking about the Mario mushroom, the Amanita Muscaria. Some of you may have never heard of it before, some of you may just think it's another mushroom to trip off of, some of you probably know about it but haven't tried it, and then some of you probably know what's up. Regardless of what your experience is, we're going to break down the substance a bit and explain what experience it can give a user. So I want to start off by saying that the substance does not act on the brain in a way that is similar to any traditional psychedelic. In fact, if we're just looking at how it affects our brain chemistry, it's more comparable to the depressant drug Ambien. And unlike most psychedelic drugs, Amanita actually has a real potential to kill you. It is actually considered a poison. So a lot of the effects described by Animan, like the nausea, drowsiness, getting hot and cold, it's partially due to this fact. At 5 grams though, it is unlikely he would have had a lethal dose. Of course though, it can be difficult to judge as these mushrooms have varying amounts of potency per batch. But the visuals and psychedelic effects that are experienced tend to vary. Animan described it pretty well. It is somewhat in its own ballpark, with having some hints, or in some cases, intense psychedelic or delirious themes, while the physical effects are most likely responsible for the dissociation. Now I want to bring up some past Amanita reports for comparison, the first being Entheogenic Amanitas by Tengu, Japan, where the user consumed 8 grams of Amanita pantherina, a close relative to the Amanita muscaria here. We're starting with this trip because it is the closest one in dosage. The user also boiled the mushrooms in a tea like Animan, but the trips couldn't be more different. Tengu, Japan ended up having this universal-like experience where he entered a void-like state of eternity. Now this may have been induced by milk thistle, but milk thistle is actually commonly used to partway treat Amanita poisoning. The next report I want to bring up is First I Met God, Then I Was God by Synthesis, where he took 28 grams of Amanita Muscaria. Yeah, a pretty huge difference in dose, and we also see that in his trip, Synthesis thought he met God and became God, and actually beyond that. But the similarity I want to point out here is that his trip didn't seem to last that long. Animan here reported that the length varied by dosage, but this doesn't seem to translate here for Synthesis. But it did for sure though, looking at Death Experience by Sabrina, who also consumed 28 grams and was out of it for over 3 days. But I'm going to leave that here. If you guys want to see more Amanita Muscaria reports or any Amanitas at all, or any drug at that matter, let me know below and we'll get to it. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, follow the socials. It's been someone that's no one. and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.